All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Good morning. Good morning. It is 8:49 my time, early in the morning. Uh I'm here and I want to talk about, while I have this opportunity, there's sort of a lull in the news. I feel caught up. I feel caught up with the news. I want to talk about something because there's always something to talk about. I want to talk about something that would always be one of my primary arguments if anybody gave me a chance to build a case against owning dogs. It's at least the large dogs. If they said, hey, IHD, take your best shot. Try to present a case and persuade a jury to ban large dogs. This is something that I would always point out because it's irrefutable. And I think it's a crime how many people ignore the fact that this is a violation of the law. You know, what good are laws if you're going to ignore crimes? And this irrefutably is a violation of the law. Now, exactly what is a violation of the law? When there's a dog attack, now specifically, it's a violation of the reckless endangerment laws. And I believe reckless endangerment laws is the same thing as child endangerment laws. I don't know why they're interchangeable at times. I'm not a lawyer, not my area of expertise. But the reckless/child endangerment laws, it's a violation of it because that law says it uses a reasonable person standard where a reasonable person would understand that there is a threat. It's basically saying, hey, are you dumb or not? Okay? There's no way you could have not known that there was a deadly threat, the possibility of an injury, a serious injury. There's no way you could have not known. For example, if there is a loaded weapon in the house and you have kids that are old enough to manipulate it, you have them within their reach. That's an example given by the lawyers and whatnot. That's their favorite example, having a loaded weapon inside the home. It's like, hey, there's no way you could have not known that this was dangerous. How can the same not be said at least about large dogs? And if you disagree with that, how can that not also apply to bully breeds? The breed that was bred to fight, to kill, to be dominant, to attack brainlessly. They were bred to attack brainlessly. Because the appeasement behavior was bred out of them, fighting is mainly for self-defense and to settle skirmishes. Well, bully breeds ignore appeasement behavior. So they will continue to come back and attack even large animals that have the upper hand. Many of you have seen bulls and horses kick and stab pit bulls and knock them across the field, and the pit bull will keep getting back up and coming back for more. No matter how bad the animal thrashes the pit bull, it's so dumb. It's been bred to be just an extremely mutated, brain damaged, neurologically damaged, thoughtless, dumb mutant, basically. that has no concern about its own safety, its existence, quality of life. All other animals, including predators, they are mindful of their physical condition, of their life in some way. Now it's their instinct. They want to go on about training. Oh, it's all in how you raise them. If you raise them to fight, then they will fight. If you raise them with love, then they'll be loving their whole life. And as we all know, that is not true. These creatures are born with an instinct to fight, to attack. As the experts themselves admit, they're born with, they use fighting or biting as a form of communication. As I said, that is how they establish rank in a dog pack. Now, with dog packs, we need to be mindful of a few things. That they have several instincts, and that there's always a hierarchy. And this is what a lot of trainers like to ignore. They like to ignore the relevance of the pack mentality or pack instincts of dogs. And they try to act like it's irrelevant. And I think that's a mistake, because they are born with pack instincts. For example, this article talks about it, talks about how they just have an instinct. Dogs, like wolves, are pack animals. Get a few dogs together and you will see the pack instinct appear. This is what is written in this article. Just get a few dogs together, you'll see the pack instinct appear. What's the instinct? What's the behavior like? Okay? The dogs will stay close to each other. Think about that. That's not companionship. It's just the instinct of the dog. You feed it, okay? It views you as a pack member. It stays close to you. Not because it thinks you're a wonderful person. And it's pathetic for you to interpret it that way. That's the sad part. Where you think it wants to be around you because it knows your character and knows you're such a wonderful person. That is pathetic. What you want is somebody to be around you because they fully understand your character and enjoy being around you. That's not the case with these things. It's just their instinct to stay close to you. That's why they follow you around everywhere. Several of these dog lovers have written articles about how their dog will follow them into the bathroom, which is disgusting. And they think, oh, it loves me so much. Oh, look at how much Rover loves me. It follows me everywhere, always paying attention to me. You love me? You love me, don't you, boy? Oh, good boy. That is so shameful. That's shameful behavior, and you know it. It's embarrassing. And we're bringing light to it. We got people talking about it. We got mature adults talking about this. This is where the world is headed. Into having common sense, we're going to decringe the population, you see. We're going to decringe the population, and we're going to be a very smooth, cool, and hip organism in this universe. Okay, cringe free. Okay, it's not just cringe. This makes no sense. They stay close to you because it's their instinct, and will do the same types of things at the same time. Okay, so if you get up and start walking, it starts following you. Pack instinct. Not because it loves you, not because it thinks you're a wonderful person. This is embarrassing. This is irrefutable. Again, any behaviorist, whatever, you want to challenge, you disagree, go ahead and disagree. You don't want to give me attention, disagree with the argument. A hierarchy is formed, with some of the dogs being dominant and some submissive. If you have more than one dog, or if you introduce a new dog to a group, you may well have problems while they sort out the new hierarchy. So, in other words, they're going to fight each other. So what am I saying? Fighting is natural for dogs. That's why the family dog attacks most often, because it interprets you as its pack, and it's natural for them to fight other pack members. That's dangerous, irrefutably. Don't tell me you had no knowledge or idea or could not have known that it had the propensity or potential to attack. Not with facts like this available. What do y'all have to say about this? You want to sit and pretend that we don't have an argument, that we don't know what we're talking about, we're a bunch of low IQ people? Okay, knock yourself out. Okay, we'll see. With time, we'll see. Now, it gets worse. It gets worse. For dog owners, it's important that the human family becomes the dog pack. Whoa, what? What? It becomes the dog's pack automatically in the dog's mind. The dog doesn't know any other way to function but with the pack instinct. Part of how dog packs function is fights, attacks. So basically, it's guaranteed that dogs are going to attack people in the home. And it's most likely going to be your kids. Something that the dog feels superior to, just like they do in packs. Now look at this. They said it's essential that the owner is the dominant force and that the dog is submissive. If this is not the case, the dog will give problems. A dog is content to live in a family and be submissive because pack living is in its nature. What do you mean the dog will give problems? They mean the dog it might attack you, its owner. That's all he's saying. It might attack you someday if it doesn't view you as the dominant force. Now they give advice on how to get the dog to view you as the dominant force. Don't let your dog sleep on your bed. In the wild, only submissive dogs offer to share their sleeping quarters. And you see a lot of people, they believe in sleeping in the bed with their dog. Don't feed your dog scraps from the table. In the wild, this is the equivalent of what submissive dogs do. Always eat first. Feed your dog after you eat. Don't let your dog sit on the furniture or on your lap. In your dog's eyes, height equals dominance. Always make your dog give way to you in the doorway. Don't step over it. Make it move. Now, we've heard this before. A lot of dog lovers don't believe this. They believe only love and positive reinforcement. And what those people do is simply increase the chances the dog will attack them. Because both types of dogs will attack other people. So this training really means nothing. But the point here is that it's natural for dogs in packs to fight. Now look at this. The middle of the pack is a dog-eat-dog fight for dominance. In this study, they discovered how most of the fighting in dog packs take place in the middle of the pack because they're trying to establish a hierarchy. In other words, it's natural for dogs to attack your toddlers, your babies. It's a natural instinct for them to attack them. Their small size is interpreted in the dumb dog's mind as inferior. And it's accurate. A baby is least capable of defending, of fighting. So you basically make prey out of your young. Babies, toddlers, children. That's what all the training is about. That's why they go on and on about training. Basically trying to train the dog to not want to attack. Primarily the children. I remember I showed a dog trainer holding a class where he basically had people hold their dog on a leash and restrain them so that they wouldn't attack a child that they would allow to play right in the middle of two rows of dogs. They'd have to use shock collars, yank the collar, because the dogs wanted badly to maul the child, who was not paying them any attention, minding her own business and mildly playing, no screaming. Okay? That's an irrefutable fact. Y'all train these things against their instinct to want to attack your family, primarily your kids. The smaller, the higher risk they are at, as we all know. This is crazy. This is insanity. Now, how is this not a violation of the reckless endangerment law? How? Their results reveal the unavoidable cost of climbing a dominance hierarchy. In the middle of the hierarchy, where it's harder to predict which animal should be dominant, we see lots of aggression. Now, why wouldn't the dog view your baby or your toddler as inferior in the hierarchy than the master? It sees you feed your child just like it sees you feed it. So it assumes that your child is in the middle of the pack, where this research says that's where most of the fighting takes place. That's dangerous. Is it not? Is it not? I'm not some lunatic. I just make arguments. That's all. Everybody want to make character assassinations of me. That's not necessary, and it's not effective. Deal with the argument that I make. The hierarchy was based on sex and age. Okay. Fighting over food and mates uses energy and time and can lead to injuries. So hierarchies play an important role because animals know their place without needing to fight. Okay? So it's natural for them to want to establish a hierarchy, and fighting is required once it's established. Some type of dominance, intimidation tactics, and whatnot. Okay? And if you don't submit to their intimidation tactics, increased chance of an attack. This is dangerous, irrefutably dangerous. So having a dog in the home, period, is dangerous. Okay? You cannot erase the dog's instinct, any of their instincts. You can only try to dampen them somewhat. Although fights within a social group Free-roaming dogs are usually characterized by low-intensity aggression. The middle of the hierarchy is occupied by young males of similar size and age, among whom nothing is definitive and for whom the challenge is to gain rank, okay? Even if there's a low-intensity aggression, I don't even think pit bulls can, or yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. They do it with their own puppies. The soft bite. But a slight bite can penetrate the flesh of a baby, of a toddler, right? That's enough to cause serious injury, these mild aggressions. So the chances of an attack is higher for the child. And now we know why. Now we know what motivates dogs. We've always known. They're more likely to attack what they perceive as less of a threat, as a weak target, path of least resistance. And it's their instinct to want to attack, to want to fight. Pack members, fellow pack members, they project this idea that if the dog views you as its family, they base all of their stock on that. That the dog views you as its family. That's the whole thing. Dogs are family. That's where they get that from. Oh, it views you as its pack? Oh, wow. So that means dogs are family because they view us as family. Well, because they're not human, they communicate with their family members by attacking them, by stabbing them. Since you want to have this discussion, now I've shared this before, but this is so applicable right now. Just want to briefly go over it again. And I want y'all to pay attention to the natural behavior of these mutants. Whoa. Sorry about that. Listen to this guy. Oh my goodness. I hate to torture you all. Your eyes. But bear with me. Now all of this is just dominance and submission. All these things understand. The only way they communicate is to show who's more dominant. There's no mutual relationship. It's always either I'm dominant or submissive. Either you dominate me or I dominate you. That's what it's all about. Now, basically, he's doing this dramatic intro. He's saying that he has two alpha dogs. Both males, I do believe. Two alpha dogs. And they're competing for status.
See these two? They will not lower their tails. Fireball's the alpha in my home. Power's the alpha out in the kennel.
Oh my goodness. Now, in order for me to speak on stuff like this, I have to go through I have to watch stuff like this, and it's difficult. to just have to look at dogs for this long. I know, but bear with me.
Didn't think he had it in him, but he definitely showing it off today. 305 lowered his tail in front of two alphas. He doesn't want any issues.
Okay, I just want to make sure everybody understand what he's talking about. He's saying that these two alphas won't lower their tail. They're keeping their tail upright and wagging it time to time. That's a show of dominance. And dog owners tell you that's a sign that it's happy. Oh, it likes you. It wants to be your friend. It's being friendly. And he's saying, no, that's a sign that it's trying to exercise dominance. This is dangerous, like irrefutably dangerous. A guaranteed threat. This the only way this thing knows how to operate and function in the world is through aggression.
So now we're about to go into a peeing contest. So everywhere Fireball pees, Power's about to sniff and pee right on top of it. There you go.
Peeing over another dog's pee is a form of canceling out the other dog's scent and claiming the territory as his. So everything is about being dominant or submissive. They don't know how to just be friends and leave each other alone. These are nothing like human beings. As much as that, this is why they try so hard to humanize dogs. It's because dogs are so much unlike human beings. They cannot just have a mutual relationship and enjoy each other's company. It's all about submission or dominance.
And so this is going to happen. Right? Look at their tails. They're not backing down, especially Fireball.
Everything is about whether you're backing down or not. Having a standoff. Their tails are upright. Their bodies are stiffened. Tension is high. Everything is about aggression, fighting. This is subhuman behavior. This is nothing. This is not human life.
It's like he's the oldest one. You know, Power's just, he ain't gonna lower his tail, but he's being a little bit more calm, a little bit more chill. Fireball.
Oh, it's wagging its tail. It's wagging its tail. The black dog. They tell you that means it's happy. No. It can mean it's ready to attack.
Ball, his tongue ain't out. He's not smiling. He just licked. Usually licking means a sign of submission, but I think it was just...
They're having a stare down. Tension is rising. For what? What was done? Nothing. That's dog behavior. You don't have to do nothing. You don't have to provoke these things. You behaviorists are such liars. You should be ashamed of yourselves. We all know you're not, but you should be. You're supposed to be, as a human being.
The coincidence, because his tail and nothing else is going down. Hey.
Now, it sounds like he got a shock collar on these mutts. It sounds like he shocked them to break up a potential fight. And he just said that. He said that's how you prevent a fight. So what in the world is this? Everything is about fighting, intimidation, back down, face off, peeing contest. Get out of here, man. Tell me these things are appropriate to have around kids, having it around people, period. We have nothing in common with these things. Nothing. What are you talking about? Try to compare us to no dogs. Stop trying to put these things on a pedestal. Stop trying to exalt these things to human status. They are nothing like human beings, and you all know it. All they are, they're like things. And as things, they are a violation of the law. With behavior like this, they are inclined to attack. It's their instinct. That's how they function in on the earth. Okay? This idea of removing bans is ridiculous, even though the bans are worthless. Because removing the bans, you're basically just putting out a signal, putting out a message that you don't care. You don't care how dangerous societies are right now. You're willing to make them more dangerous. Because like I said, in every jurisdiction, every territory where there's a so-called pit bull ban, there are pit bulls in those areas. There are bully breeds in those areas. It's worthless. They're all worthless. Nobody is taking this dog threat seriously. You all know full well there's no amount of training that can train out these instincts, and you all know these things are a ticking time bomb. You don't know what they're thinking, when they may attack, if they may attack. You know nothing. All you do is sit there with your fingers crossed, and you want to push this idea that that's a smart, intelligent thing to do, and that everybody should be willing to do it. No, because it is maintaining some serious, very dangerous statistics. The frequency of attacks is ridiculous. And that's just the reported attacks, which has to be around 5 million at this point per year. Reported. When only 1 out of 3 to 4 are reported. So this is out of control. Totally out of control, as we all know. But from the perspective of the law, this is not a debate. No, there's no reason to have a debate with anybody. The law says that you're not supposed to have anything dangerous in the home at all. And all they say is that, hey, a reasonable person would have to assume that there was a threat in the home. You have one of these things inside of a home, they're not supposed to be inside of homes anyways. Something like this in a house, you're definitely increasing the chances of an attack. Then, pay attention to what they say. They say if a dog has a lack of exercise, it increases the chances they'll attack someone. Well, inside of a home, quite naturally, that's the whole function of a home for a dog, is to decrease the amount of exercise it gets. It can't roam as it would if it were outdoors, and that's all they do when they are outdoors. So, obviously, increased risk of an attack with these things inside the home. And they project the home as if it's the safest place. Dog roam free off leash inside of a home all it wants. That's when there's no leash required. That's when you're at most risk. Okay? This is the twilight zone. These are deadly instincts. And it's the instincts that violate the law that makes this a violation of the law. Okay? It's like having a gun inside the home that wants to discharge. Could you imagine? You know, they project this idea that you raise a dog with love, then the dog will sit there with, images of roses and hearts floating through its mind. That aggression doesn't pass through its mind because it was raised with hugs and kisses. That's a lie, and they know it. They know it. The dumb dog, it doesn't know any other way. It's wired, it's configured to function based on aggression, using aggression, biting. So it's all a matter of how long people are going to ignore the fact that these things are a violation of the law. How long is that going to happen? You know, I'm surprised that there are no major or popular organizations that point this out. I mean, even with the anti-dog, there are a lot of anti-pit bull advocates out there. Like, what are you waiting for? This is a clear, obvious, irrefutable violation of the law. You can't claim that, oh, it's all about how you raise them when you have a breed that was bred to fight and attack. That's what it's all about. That's what it has a desire to do. I was about to share an article yesterday, and I may still have it. Let me see if I can find it. See, with bully breeds, it's an entirely different story. Okay? You can't hide behind the idea that it's all about how you raise them with bully breeds. Because how they were bred, it trumps how you raise them. Okay? That's just how it is. And they want to ignore that or deny it. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. You have to acknowledge the facts, or you just not taken seriously. Okay, I can't find the article. Yeah, I just had it. I can't find it. But we all know this. We all know this. The appeasement behavior was bred out of them. They were bred to have a very short trigger to attack in response to things that other breeds most likely wouldn't attack for. Okay, the slightest movements, the slightest sounds, no movement or no sound at all, and to not stop their attack, to never cease, even if it's a larger victim, to attack until the death, to go after. This was all bred into them. So if you have this in the home, you can't claim that there was no way for you to know that there was a potential threat, that the dog had the potential. What are you talking about? What? There was no way of knowing that the dog had the potential to attack. That might work. That might be acceptable with other breeds. But when you're dealing with a breed that was bred to attack, bred to have bred to have the potential, that's exactly what it was bred for, to have the potential to attack. And when they attack, their attack is more lethal. That's why every time there's a bully breed attack, the attack is still underway by the time the police and ambulance show up. They don't stop. Even after you're dead, they don't stop. Just mindless, brainless, hyper aggressive, and they're different from other breeds in that not only the appeasement behavior, but when they attack, they feel extremely good in the same way herding dogs feel extremely good when they herd, and other dogs feel extremely good when they do what they were bred to do. So they are ecstatic. They get a high out of attacking. And when they attack, there's an increased chance they'll attack again because they want to get that high again. And you're telling me we got organizations that specialize in rehoming them after they attack? So there's really nothing to talk about. There is, and this is crazy. And actually, violating the reckless endangerment laws is what is being promoted and celebrated. I mean, with the way this dog culture operates, you're celebrating the violation of the reckless/child endangerment laws. This is crazy. You've put out all the information yourself that has incriminated the dog culture. It is not me that has incriminated the dog culture and made these charges against the dog culture. It is you. I've simply connected the dots. Okay? Don't try to project this idea that I came up with a new information somewhere, just like right here. I shared that they conducted this study, not me. You guys want to point the finger at me, point the finger at us. You want to point the finger at everybody. Always want to blame somebody else for something. Look at pit bull victim awareness. Look at that channel, how it's growing. Y'all know by 2030, that channel's going to have tens of thousands. It'll eventually get to hundreds of thousands of people. By that time, we'll have a new perspective out here. The narratives, the talking points of dogs, the way people look at dogs is changing right now. It's changing right now. So now is the time. If you see something, if you have some type of unique observation, now is the time to put it out there. You know, because people in general, we're just now starting to really examine the dog culture, criticize it, hold it up to scrutiny, theorize about how much better off we'd be if they were not around, which is irrefutable again. We got far too much information and testimony from the most respected professionals in all of society. Doctors have always been the most respected and trusted. But with the way the dog culture is right now, it disrespects the profession of doctors to just flat out ignore the information that they put out thus far. Right? And it's an utter and major failure of people in general that are out here trying to, of nations and governments too, out here trying to project themselves and their nation as a nation with high morals, a respectable nation with integrity. Stop. It all starts with how you treat the families that make up your nation. If you're not dealing with them, protecting them, then it's a failure. I don't want to hear about nothing else, about no fancy phone that you made or whatever. If you're not looking out for their best interest, the best interest of the everyday person, then it's all a con. So we'll see if or how long it takes. It's going to happen. It's only a matter of time. We'll see how long it takes for the average person to develop basic human morals, instincts, and function on this earth. How embarrassing that we're not even doing that yet. Able to make a fancy little phone or gadget, which can't even function on this earth like a normal human organism. Embarrassing. Yeah, we need people out here talking like this. Shout out to everybody up in the house on this, Sunday morning. Weekend going by fast. I'm not looking at the clock often enough. Yeah, I need to spread my time out. I need to be smarter. What is going on? Nobody has encountered any worthless mutants, have they? I'm waiting for the videos. I know people are going to start sending me crazy stuff concerning these dogs. Boy, Yusuf Mambo, have y'all seen my Twitter? Those people out there in Turkey, those dog people out there, that's so dangerous. And people wonder where these pandemics come from. We've been getting these pandemics for a long time, man. There's been a lot of flash diseases ran through the human population, man. It happens nonstop. Look at this right here. Look at this filth right here. Let's go full screen. Hope y'all can see this. Look at this. You driving with all these dogs in your vehicle, and these are stray dogs. Really? They look like stray dogs. Look like they got all types of diseases, infections. What's that? Whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 large dogs in there. That is filthy, filthy nasty. Filthy nasty. I also retweeted this. I didn't put any caption. I just retweeted it. And you know, we talk about what these things can do to human flesh. Look at what it can do to a door. Y'all seen that video where some dogs ripped off the bumper of a car? I seen 2 of them where they just ripped the bumper off of a car. So you know what they could do to human flesh. Right? No wonder kids get scalped. And you want to talk about there's no way of knowing that there was a potential for an attack? Really? What kills me is that not only is there a well-known potential for an attack, but if the attack starts, you got one of these types of dogs, it's going to be severe and difficult to stop. Next to impossible to stop. For an adult to stop. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? So as long as these things are legal, they're making a shameful mockery of the law, of the everyday person. Let's just be real. It makes a mockery of the whole nation. Okay, I'm not going to be on the wrong side of this. So any of you behaviorist trainers, you disagree, go ahead and tell us about it in the comment section. Oh no. Terramont said he almost fought a nutter. Yeah. I can believe it. I can believe it. They make you want to fight them. That sounds so bad, but yeah, they make you want to, they make you want to knock them across the head. Just like, wake up. Wake up. Snap out of it. Like, what are you doing? This is pathetic. And the way that they compare dogs to kids don't behave like this. This is not the behavior of no 2-year-old. Don't, and they're talking about the brain of a dog. That dogs are like 2-year-olds mentally. No, they're not. No, they're not. Not only do they not think like 2-year-olds, they don't have the same capability of a 2-year-old. And that's all that matters. Nothing else matters. You see? How'd they get us to not pay attention to that? To not focus on that fact? That the only thing that matters is that what you're capable of and whether or not you actually think like that. It's not the thought process of no 2-year-old child. You're not out here trying to intimidate and stand your ground, have stare downs, urinating on top of someone else's urine. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. The ultimate insult. So, yeah, I look forward to your objections, dog world. Yeah. Yeah, and it's too bad. Aldrich said dog nuts are like 2-year-olds, right? It's like, man, like you don't want to treat an adult, or you don't even want to look at an adult like a 2-year-old, like you would a 2-year-old. But it's like sometimes they leave you with no choice. It's like they force you to. Like, okay, oh man. You know, it's depressing. I don't like to have to avoid physical contact with people, to refuse handshakes. On the surface, you know, people might look at me as a bad person, a mean person. Oh, you're rude. Even though I tell them, hey, I'm a germaphobe, I have a lot of allergies, bad, which is true. I'm hypersensitive to all that dog filth. At this point, yeah, I'm hypersensitive. I told y'all I've gotten tinnitus. I've even developed tinnitus. It got so bad I had a ear infection and a sinus infection at the same time. I'm just sensitive to that stuff. Don't want to have to be. And what I'm saying, if the dogs were not around, we might not have all these issues. I know a lot of people deal with bad sinus issues. I'm hearing that more now. I read some reports where they're saying the air quality in general is getting worse and worse over time. We just don't know how much better off we'd be if dogs were not around. Dogs clearly are making a whole lot worse. If they're contaminated, and look, inside of enclosures, you have the air just full of dander, like physical dander. It cannot help our sinuses to be inhaling that stuff every day, all day. Cannot be good for us. We have no idea. This could be shortening our lifespan of the average human being. And we'll never know how much better off we'd be health-wise, if these things were not around. But yeah, don't talk about we can't ban dogs. If we can make dogs legal to own, why couldn't we ban them? If you can give them to millions of people, why can't you tell millions of people that they're not going to get them, that you're not going to give them to you? Just like we sold you these dogs, we're not going to sell you these dogs. Boom, they're banned. People talking crazy. Oh, we can't ban dogs. Why is that? How is that not possible? You can ban anything. No matter how many of them there are. Eventually, they'll be gone. And that is exactly what needs to happen. We don't know what these things are doing to our planet and to us, man. If they're so toxic on the surface, there's no telling what they're doing to us. With urine as toxic as it is, like, that makes no sense. The way how toxic they are. Killing plant life like that, not the end of it. Look at how their saliva can do a human being. That's ridiculous. And it's not just the sepsis. It's not just the capnocytophaga, where your limbs are falling off. Many times people just get real bad infections. Like when they get bitten by a dog, it'll just be a real bad infection. Maybe a lot of swelling, something like that. A lot of times when people just need something amputated, it's because of real bad infection. Their saliva is crazy toxic. Now, these people are ingesting the dog's saliva. They're swapping saliva with these things. Getting saliva on everything. Now, so the dog's saliva is on its dander. Its dander is always airborne. This stuff could be tearing us apart, man. I don't want to inhale nothing nonstop that has saliva that toxic. I don't want to inhale nothing that toxic. If it causes infections to an open wound, what do you think it's doing to the inside of my lungs, man? I don't know, and I don't want to know. I won't take that chance. Right? These people kill me. Act like we don't have nothing to complain about, nothing to object to. Like we just make stuff up to complain about. Stop it. The problem is that you, in a crazy way, give so many reasons to complain, so many things to complain about. Don't make no sense. I'm sorry. I did not mean to force y'all to look at dogs that long. Anyway, let me get off of here. Jada, I just wanted to talk about that because that always makes me mad. I always reflect on it, because, you hear all this talk about being a patriot. A lot of people want to pose as a big time patriot. But if you don't have a problem with laws being broken, you ain't no real patriot. Stop it. That's what your patriotism is supposed to be based on. Because the laws shape the society, shaped it really the mentality of the people. So I'm not buying it. I'm still waiting for the true patriots. We're the true patriots. Crusaders, right? We got our heads screwed on right, at least in that regard. Shout out to everybody able to join me for this live stream. And I feel good about the new channel. Shout out to all the members as well. I will be chopping it up with them very soon. Always feel good about starting over. I don't know why. It's very strange. I've always been more comfortable as a smaller channel. I don't know why. Hopefully I can get over that very soon. Because, our message is getting through slowly but surely. Right? And a big thanks to all the comments. From what I understand, from what I'm hearing, I have a higher than average interaction percentage. Like more people interact than average for the size or number of subscribers or whatever. Right? But big shout out to everybody who leave comments on the channel. And I hope to see you all back on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.